Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news of a sharp attack on free trade agreements. But first, President Obama's aggressive trade push is back on track after several near-death moments, in large measure because top Republicans have stood by him. He now seems almost certain to get fast-track authority. And when that happens, the focus will shift back to the actual TPP negotiations with countries like New Zealand. Meanwhile, in Australia, their Productivity Commission has launched a scathing attack on Australia's latest series of free trade agreements, saying they grant legal rights to foreign investors not available to Australians, expose the government to potentially large unfunded liabilities, and add extra costs on businesses attempting to comply with them. The other big negotiation going on is in Europe, and there are uncertainties resurfacing there on whether the Greek deal will actually emerge this week. These doubts are knocking equities in the big markets and raising bond yields. In China, they're about to end their loan-to-deposit regulation, which was set at 75%. They expect the new freedom for banks will enable them to increase lending to agriculture, small and micro businesses. But as we know, bankers tend to follow the big money, so this one will be worth watching. And in a new report out overnight by the OECD, they say the current low interest rate environment poses a significant risk for the long-term financial viability of pension funds and insurance companies, as they seek to generate sufficient returns to meet their risk aversion promises. In this environment, to get the returns they need, they are taking on new and destabilising risk, the OECD finds. And the IMF said yesterday that the Australian Reserve Bank should be ready to cut interest rates again if their economy falters. Back in New York, US Treasury 10-year benchmark yields rose and are now at 2.4%. US oil markets are marginally higher, with the US benchmark price just over $60 a barrel, and Brent crude is now just over $63 a barrel. American crude stocks dropped for an 8th straight week, but there was a sharp rise in refined products unsold. US petrol prices are now not expected to rise during this year's summer driving season. The gold price fell another $3 to $1,173 an ounce. The Kiwi dollar has risen overnight against the greenback and starts today at 68.9 US cents, and it gained quite a bit against the Aussie too and the euro at 89.4 Aussie cents and 61.5 euro cents. The TWI is now at 72.7. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.